Today, the Trump administration announced they're sending election monitors to 5 specific counties here in the state of California. They have no business doing that. They have no basis to do that. In fact, we have a statewide election for a statewide constitution. This is about voter intimidation. This is about voter suppression, period, full stop. And it's a pattern, isn't it? It's consistent with what they've done with the federalization of the National Guard and the intimidation and the chill that's created. They'll do that right around Election Day as well. Same thing with ICE and Border Patrol, masked men. Watch that space, showing up in and around polling booths and voting places. But this is a bridge too far. And I hope people understand it's a bridge that they're trying to build, the scaffolding for all across this country in next November's election. They do not believe in fair and free elections. Our republic, our democracy is on the line. We all need to.
They just literally say the voters will be intimidated. This is an intimidation on the voters. For real? This is so laughable. Oh my God. What is it actually trying to imply? Is it trying to say illegal immigrants should be allowed to vote? Is it right for them to vote? It's going to be a big slap on the citizens of America. What exactly is it trying to say? Oh my God, this is so laughable. How is it a wrong thing to show your ID when you want to vote? How is it a big deal? Oh my God. Are you understanding what is going on here? Let's continue.
Wake up.
Newsom, and very handsome Gavin Newsom, is ringing alarm bells about Trump's plan to send federal election monitors to California on Election Day. Let's watch this clip.
I really am scared to death about what's going on in this country. I really believe it is code red. It's 5 alarm fires. We won't have a country. We won't have an election that's fair and free if we don't stand up. We won't. There will not be a fair and free election. It will be a Putin election. Center is at 87.3%. That's what Trump wants.
He's worried. He's worried. And are you as worried about it as he is? Or is he just going to make more Americans distrust the election process like Trump has been doing since he lost in 2020?
I think more likely than fraud will be disincentivizing voting in a democracy, which is the currency of a democracy. But right now, in 2024, we had 65% of the population that showed up at the polls, which is actually pretty good for this country because in the midterms, which can right now be very important, only 47% of Americans show up at the polls. People fought hard for those rights to vote, and we already don't have people showing up at our polls. We don't need to plant seeds. You always go out, you always vote. Let the rest be determined as it plays out, because when fraud was claimed last time, not one judge in this country saw any proof of any fraud. So by planting these seeds, you're already taking a public that's lost trust in everything and saying your vote doesn't matter. That's the fastest way to affect an election.
I see it differently. It's disinfectant. I think that you need to speak truth to power. And
I know she will say this. She's always seeing things differently. And why is she always against the right things? I don't get it. I'm sure she's a supporter of Galvin. I'm so sure about that. So very sure.
you need to expose what may be going on. And, up to the election, Project 2025 was written, there was a game plan, and we kept on sounding the alarm. There's a game plan, there's a game plan. It's in writing, it's 90 pages. There's a Cliff Notes version. No one listened to that. You know what's happened since Trump was elected? Reshaping the federal bureaucracy, reducing the size and influence, and empowering the executive branch, aggressively militarizing an approach to immigration, the use of active duty military personnel and National Guardsmen to assist in border security, a return to a more isolationist foreign policy, dismantling the Department of Education. Who would do? He did. And so when Gavin Newsom is saying, I am concerned about this, I think we need to listen. Oh, no. That's the problem with this country. We don't want to say the quiet part out loud. We don't want to challenge authority. We don't want to challenge authority. Silence, there's no place for silence.
I just want to say one thing. I don't think Gavin Newsom would be saying this if Donald Trump hadn't thrown in the gauntlet in the first place. It's not like he's doing it
right, but
attack.
Now it's becoming in vogue for every candidate to say it's probably rigged.
Yeah, but who started this?
But it doesn't matter. You don't win a bad idea with a bad idea. The point is, the only power a regular American person has is to go to the polls. They can keep their eyes open and see problems and be alert and educated and vote at the same time.
Why is Trump sending in election monitors to California? Why is Trump sending people in?
I'm concerned that there will be free and fair elections again. I think it is wholly irresponsible for the governor of the most populous state, who, by the way, oversees elections in his own state. He oversees the cybersecurity infrastructure. He oversees the Secretary of State, down to poll watchers, to election workers. Gavin Newsom has a lot of power in this.
Why are there federal monitors, though?
He could at minimum say, I can promise you California will have a free and fair election, and I'll work with every governor to make sure that there's no efforts to undermine them. But that's not what he's doing. Monitors, we need to know what that means. I do think it's an alarming
sound
phrase.
Like election intimidators?
But you also have a governor with his own authorities in the state. It reminds me very much of the gerrymandering debate. So everyone is angry when Texas redraws congressional maps to add more Republican seats. They're cheating. It's rigged. So California responds by cheating and rigging it by adding more Democratic seats.
What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to just let them do it?
No, you're supposed to safely secure your elections and tell your voters you can trust voting in California.
Yeah, what do you do with that?
What are you supposed to do with that?
You should challenge it at the state level. Former Governor Schwarzenegger talked about this. There's a process to do it in California. There's a process in Texas. Change the laws so that people cannot do.
You can't change the laws when the Republicans are in charge in Texas.
Why are they so pained? Why are they so angry about the election monitors? If Trump is trying to implement ways to close every loophole, that there will not be chaos during elections, there will not be gaps, the process will be smooth, why are they so up and against it? I don't get it. And why should illegal immigrants come out to vote? Why should you be scared and worried that the Trump administration is putting things in order? That is actually a big concern. That's a concern on its own. Wow. This was so wow. That's all I'll say. I want to know what you all think in the comment section. Till then, I'll see you in the next one. To this.